Um, let's talk about another aspect, and this is the third topic that I wanted to take with you, Vijay, which has to do with the interest, the retail interest in thematic and sectoral funds. And there's quite a bit of that. It's now the largest category in the actively managed space. But let's talk about what you should ask before you invest in some of these, because ultimately what sometimes happens, or actually I should say more often than not happens, if you put money in certain sectoral schemes, what happens is that a large chunk of your money gets locked in just a few stocks. We're talking about 2 or 3 stocks that account for 20+%, 30% of the portfolio. So there is no advantage to that. Sometimes, of course, you can have outsized returns, but more often than not, there is a concentration risk and you can lose. So therefore, what questions should you ask before you invest in a sectoral or thematic fund?
So whenever a fund house or anybody who's position you a sectoral or thematic fund, first of all, there has to be gap difference between sectoral and thematic fund. But let's, for the argument's sake, keep it the same. The moment someone tells you that a fund house comes and tell you that we are very positive on a particular sector, for instance, we are very positive on defense sector or power sector or any particular sector. A simple thing to be asked from the fund house, if you are so convinced about, let's say, defense sector, then how much overweight your existing scheme carry in those particular themes or particular sector? That will tell you a full story. For instance, if somebody tells you that we are very bullish on power sector, we are very bullish on digital sector, then ask them, in your existing mutual fund scheme, be it large cap, flexi cap, mid cap, small cap, or whatever you call it, how much is the weightage of that particular sector? For instance, if defense weightage is at 2%, then does your portfolio manager own 5%, 6%, 10% in the portfolio? Is he ever overweight, and how much overweight? If you don't get that answer, then it is very clear that is asset gathering exercise rather than a deep conviction idea which has been communicated to the investor.